All right, let's get going. Hutch, fire away, please.
Yeah, hey Dave. Have you decided on your starting rotation for this weekend?
Yeah, if you want to call it a rotation right now, it's uh yeah, we're gonna go Deets game one and then kind of see what's going on with the standings, jockeying for position as far as the tournament, and then still have everybody available. So we'll just TBA the next 2 days.
Is Gibbler a guy that you would still consider using as a starter, or could he maybe benefit from going back to the bullpen and coming out as a reliever?
Yeah, I mean he may benefit from that. But I would say right now, he's definitely available Thursday. For sure Friday, but I would Thursday if it depends on the situation, maybe just a matchup. But if it was a chance for more extended, it could be Friday. But yeah, I think I want to see him come out of the pen and see how that goes.
And we saw DeCramer in that finale, and I know you mentioned afterward that he had been dealing with an injury. Can you maybe give us some insight on what injury he was dealing with, and like how did he look, and is he a guy that you think could to take on a bigger role?
But his injury was in his leg, and he just having trouble, landing, pushing off, all the above, and just couldn't shake it off. And he actually, the last time he pitched before this, he said it was okay, but it really wasn't and didn't go well. So we just said, we're just going to let this thing heal up. And if you get on the mound again, show us what you can do. So, I mean, that's really about all I can tell you.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, just to follow up on the Kramer, Dave. I assume that's the same calf injury that he was dealing with back like in early March. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you feel like maybe the performance that he had the other day, does it make you trust him more in some leverage situations?
Yes, I think so. And that's why we put him out there, just to see if we could, gain a little trust and, feel like we can use him down the stretch.
When you go back to when you guys were going to Tuscaloosa, you were 5-7 in the SEC. You got above 500 that weekend, and you've stayed there. I wonder what you think maybe has been the key to having more consistency over the second half of conference play.
Well, I feel like that offensively we got better. We start driving in runs, and I don't know if it's so much in maybe team batting average, but I think maybe contact has been better. Advancing runners, just scoring runs, and the defense has been pretty solid all year. We had the bad game slash inning against Georgia that kind of hurt our fielding percentage, but you take away that one game, it's been really good. And we've done a nice job of turning double plays for the most part, but to me it's been the offense has kicked it up a gear and obviously hitting some home runs, driving in runs that way. And baseball's interesting. You kind of get on a roll, you start driving in people, you start getting the big hits, and we weren't getting very many big hits during that first half.
When it comes to Hoover next week, I mean, you guys could play as early as Tuesday. I think you could play as late as Friday. How important is it to you to maybe not play that first day if possible?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we were hoping that we don't have to play the first day. And believe me, I haven't looked at all the scenarios. I'm not too concerned about it. I just want to go down there and play well Thursday and win. And I think we'll probably be in pretty good shape. But if not, wherever we end up, we end up. It's been a good second half for us. I mean, we've won 6 out of 9 series. Kentucky's not an easy place to play, and they have a good team, and they've let some games slip away. They had a 5-run lead in the eighth against Florida on Friday last weekend, and then Florida punched in five, tied it or six, took the lead, and I think they walked them off the field. And then they win the next day. They lose the last game. They're good. I mean, their shortstop is probably going to be a first round pick and maybe a top 10 pick. So they've got weapons. They've got an older team. So we know we've got our hands full this weekend.
And I wanted to ask you about their turf. I know that you guys have played on turf at Missouri this year, and there's other SEC fields that have got turf on it. But is there anything different about Kentucky's maybe from what you guys saw at Missouri in terms of how it plays?
I don't really think, from what I remember a few years back, it's same as all turf. Some's faster than others, obviously, depending on what they've decided to put in it. But it's a quick field, and this is the latest we've ever played up there, and it's going to be warm. It looks like maybe for sure on Saturday, a lot warmer than normal in the 80s. So usually, the warmer it is, that turf gets a little bouncier and a little quicker. So we'll uh, we'll really try to figure it out tonight when we're practicing. We'll work on sliding, which is funny to say, but it's what you have to do, different places, and we'll see how the ball, bounces when it hits. If you don't, example, you don't catch a pop up or a fly ball, and is it going to bounce higher? Where you just got to try to slap it to the ground. So, but you can also learn how to run the bases on it too. And but I don't. It's the same. It's going to be close to the same.
And there's a lot of talk about how they recruit, athleticism to play on that type of surface. But you've talked a lot about you like how athletic your team is. Is it a situation where you feel like maybe you can take some advantage in the running game this weekend?
Yeah, they're throwing a lefty. I guess they're going to throw their left-hander tomorrow. I'm not sure. So that slows you down a little bit, obviously. But we just kind of take what you give us, and if you're fairly slow to the plate, we're going to go. We think we have a chance. Uh, we're going to dirt ball read type things. We have certain counts. We're really looking for balls in the dirt, and 2 outs. If we see it out of the hand that it's going to hit in front of the catcher, we want our guys to go. If they pick it or keep it in front of them, throw us out. That's just the way it is. So we'll use our speed as much as we can, but at the same time, not try to run ourselves or not run ourselves out of any innings, hopefully.
All right, thank you.
Dudley, go ahead.
For a long time, Kentucky baseball was just a way to take up time between basketball seasons. But talk about what the factors have been in their program that have made them a lot better over these last few years.
Well, I think Coach Mingione and his staff have really done a nice job of recruiting. I would say transfer portal wise, they've done a really good job there of evaluating and getting kids maybe up in that region more. Some of the mid majors that we don't really see, so they probably had some midweek games, different things where they see kids and they pop in the portal, they jump on it, but and then they go get the type of kids they feel like that'll fit in their program. But they have a really good coaching staff. They work hard and a lot of enthusiasm there. Their players are a little crazy during the game, but that works for them. So hey, I'm good with it. To each their own there. But I just think they've really done a nice job of evaluating some kids in more in their area, and they've developed them.
Also, the lower end of your order, whether it's 8-9, 9-1, however it is, has really come on. Talk about the strength of that and how it's been.
Yeah. So example, we've had guys in the 7, 8, 9 hole that can hit home runs and Pompey's case, steal bases, threat down there. I might have to move him up a little bit. When I say have to, maybe it's time. But I tell the guys, it doesn't matter to me if you're hitting fourth or eighth. To me, you got a chance to drive in runs either place, and just try to make the lineup tough for the opposing team to navigate through. And a lot of times you think, oh, I got the top 4 or 5, 6 guys out. I can catch my breath here, 7 through 9. And I don't feel like that's the case with us. And it just makes us deeper. And maybe we wear them down a little bit. And I know we've had a lot of success scoring late in games.
Thanks, Coach.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Dave. I was wondering if Reese Robinette will travel with you and how's he's doing.
Yeah, he'll definitely travel and he'll be on the roster. And he's got a brace on his knee. He took ground balls yesterday and the day before, swung the bat. We'll really look at it, tonight at our workout and, figure out if we want to start him, bring him in for defense, if he can move well enough. But yeah, there's still a lot that's still open right now. We're not sure, but he's definitely going to practice and he's definitely traveling.
Yeah, what do you make of Kentucky's pitchers, their starters in particular?
Well, they throw a different look at you. Their left-hander, Ben Cleaver, is a junior senior, been around, a junior, and he's not a hard thrower. He's going to throw in the upper 80s, but he can really pitch. I mean, ERA's down there pretty good, and overall under 4 for this whole season. He gives them innings, and with that breaking ball and this changeup, the fastball looks harder because he'll throw those pitches in any counts, and then he throws that fastball, and kind of gets on you, it fools you a little bit. But crafty, doesn't walk people. He attacks, and then this their day two guy is a guy that he's going to throw the ball hard, right-hander, 93, 94, with good stuff. I mean, they use a lot of pitchers. It seems like they'll go to the pen and just kind of go to the next guy. So uh, I don't know. Just I think typical SEC staff, pretty physical for the most part. Big guys, 6'4", 6'5", and come at you a little bit.
I wonder what the ideal usage for Gabe Gakle is this weekend. I guess he's probably one of those wait and see how the games go kind of guy, huh?
Yeah, we're going to do what we need to do. If we felt like, he was first out of the pen on Thursday, and that could be the case, but honestly, I don't think it is. Just depending on what we see. If we don't use him, we'll definitely start him in game 2. I don't like to play games. We're not trying to trick anybody, not smart anybody. We just feel like this is what we need to do for us. And as soon as the game's over, we'll get that announced out. Or if he doesn't pitch, you can just plan on him pitching Friday.
All right. So y'all gonna head up today and get a workout in up there?
Yeah, we leave here in just a little while and then have a scheduled practice tonight and get ready to go tomorrow. We play a couple of night games, Thursday, Friday, then a day game, and then we'll head from there over to Alabama.
Thanks.
Kent, go ahead.
So Dave, with the Jelkin kid, the game 2 guy, your hitters already know he's probably going to go out there and throw 100 no matter what. Not 100 miles an hour, meaning 100 and something pitches.
Yeah.
And he's going to go pretty much 9 no matter what they try to do. I know that affects the hitters, but your game 2 starter, whoever that ends up being, how does that affect them also, knowing that they're going up against a guy who's going to go the whole game and kind of put in that many pitches? He went 130 pitches last week.
Yeah, I think he threw 128, and but they won. So he pitched good. If we were to jump out on him and get a good lead on him, they may leave him in just to save pitching. Obviously, if it's close, they're just going to leave him in. He's a fifth-year guy, bounced around a bunch of schools, and he's probably told coach, "Hey, just let me go, man. Not too concerned about it." That's what I like to do. So got to give him credit for that. That's what he says. I don't think it affects our starter against him at all, though. Yeah, I think the main thing is if I'm starting pitcher, I'm thinking when I go out of the game, I want to be ahead, and I've done my job pretty much.
Thanks.
Jackson, you got any?
Yeah, just to Dave, Ryder has started every game but one for you guys behind the plate. I mean, do you see anything behind the scenes like he has to work extra hard to have that type of durability? Are you scared to tell him you're gonna sit a game with that competitive nature he's got? I mean, can you just talk about his availability this season?
Yeah, he's been amazing. We knew going into the season he was going to catch 90% of them, but he's caught like 98% of them, honestly. So, uh, yeah, he takes care of himself. He gets all any type of treatment he needs around here for the most part with, the hot tubs, the cold tubs. I mean, you always see him working and trying to keep his body right. I don't make him do certain things like pregame. I want him off his feet as much as possible, just to take a little off that wear and tear, hopefully. But yeah, obviously we don't play every day. Doesn't do much on a Monday. This, now he can get more rest. He can get decent rest, Tuesday, today, travel, have our workout. We've kind of got through the part of the season where, you really are concerned. You play 3 on the weekend. maybe you play two in the middle of the week. You got to give him a little bit of a rest, but he would fight me on those five, those game weeks where we played five. But yeah, it's just the way it is. He wants to play, and he's done a good job because a lot of times it'll really take away from your offense if your legs are all tired all the time. But he's still been great at the plate as far as taking his walks and keeping his average right around 300.
Obviously, hot topic this week, canceling games and everything. Wondering if you had any thoughts on that, whether it's that decision or just the RPI and everything like that.
Well, I mean, my thought is on our side is I never schedule this week. I stopped scheduling this week 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason being, it's almost a trap game. You're really, whatever your situation is going into the last weekend, it's always a Thursday, Friday game. So if you play Tuesday at home, you're still getting up the next day, scrambling and getting out of town. If you're at home or whatever, if you're at home, it's, maybe a little more time to relax. But I just think your mind is thinking last series, tournament, regional. So I just don't schedule them. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. I don't probably want to say a whole lot. Don't schedule if you don't think you're going to play.
Matt, close this out. We're getting head to the airport.
Yeah, just a couple more. Last time I think we asked you about Carter Rutenbar, you said you didn't know if he broke his nose. Did you ever get any finality there?
Yeah, he didn't break it as far as I've been told.
Okay. And then, with Georgia winning the SEC the other night, that's 5 of the last 6 years that the SEC has been won by either you or Tony or Wes from that 2017 staff. And, Josh is the head coach at Tennessee. I wonder what you think it made that group so successful after they left here.
Well, they both know what they're doing, and they know how to recruit. And they know how to. Hopefully, I would think that they let their coaches work and coach, and that's what we did here. I think they took a little bit of that with them, and they know how to prepare their team for the grind. But you got to have players, you got to have depth, and Georgia's got a lot of it. Tennessee had a lot of it, and we've had some of it, in the past. So I'd say, just all of the above. Good players. You know how to pace yourself, find a way to win some tight games that get you over the hump, but you got to have the horses to do it.
All right. Thank you.
Coach, appreciate your time.